You guys recently have moved over to Spectora. Pumped,
Woo-hoo!
excited, love having you guys. From day one, Dave interacting with George and just was raving about him. And I was like, if he's with Ruben, guarantee he's going to be just as wonderful and just as fun to work with. So I was pumped from day one, knowing that just the level of professionalism, the level of detail, the things you guys care about, it's just different. Like, like everyone thinks they're unique in this industry, but like you just march to your own beat, I guess is a terrible metaphor or way of saying it. But talk to me a little about the process because sometimes people listen to this that haven't moved over yet, but like, God, transitioning this many people, not easy.
Oh my goodness.
So step me through even the thought process from the beginning of saying,
well,
we're moving to Titanic.
George, tell him why you wanted to change, and then I'll jump in with what my thoughts were on it.
Oh, what if I have the wrong answer to this one? Two things that when I was thinking about this, it's like, when did we start thinking about this? I remember at Inspection World in January, we were talking to Charles Buell, and he had some software coming out, and I was, we were just kind of thinking, and I talked to you about it before, but sometimes there's no real good time to change a platform like this. And we just ended up, I just said, hey, what do you think about changing software? And you looked at me, you said, fine, go ahead and do it. So I took advantage of you possibly being a smart ass, thinking, okay, we need to start thinking about doing this.
Wait, can we pause there for a second? Because this is, for anyone that leads a multi-inspector company, whether you're being a smart ass or not, I do see a commonality, and it's probably a good IEB influence there of just trust and having a team, whether you're being a smart ass or not. I've seen this with like Rob Lemoyne and others where they're just like, hey, George, you're my guy. Figure it out. Figure out how it can help us, make us more profitable, save us time. I trust you. Of course, I got to sign off on it. But like that level of trust, what did that do for you, George? Like, to me, that has to increase loyalty, investment, and just being like, damn, I am a part of this.
I will say that Ruben he's generally a trusting person. So I took it as him being, a bit of a smart aleck, but also just a way into making it a change for the company. We keep hearing about you keep hearing about different software, and the software that we were using, they weren't necessarily advancing, and the cool factor wasn't there, and these weren't really sexy reports, and they were just bleh. We needed something that was more current and up to date and more than likely cloud-based. Mm-hmm. So, we decided that we needed to take the charge and do this. So, Ruben, what was the answer I was supposed to give?
Well, no, that was it. I mean,
how'd we get on your radar, George?
The thing was, you wanted to change software for all of these reasons, and mm-hmm. I mean, I just thought to myself, this is a ridiculous amount of work. I mean, it's crazy what it takes to transition from one piece of home inspection software to the other, because there's no like button you click that takes all of your comments and recreates it. I mean, this software, our library, has been a labor of love for the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, whatever it's been. I mean, it's crazy.
And in your mind, Ruben, were you like, hey, things are great, we're growing? Like why would we change something that's working?
Well, yeah. I mean, I knew I had completely fallen out of love with the software we were using. When we first got it, I loved it and it was great, and it's been rock solid, but there have been no changes to it since we first started with it. Mm-hmm. We started using that software in like 2012 or something. Right. And it has just sat stagnant. So I've fallen less and less in love with it, but it's good enough. And I feel like I'm not going to get more people asking for home inspections based on our final report. So why go through this? And when George said, hey, let's try out some different software, I mean, I don't remember saying it, but it sounds like something I'd say. I could totally see myself going, yeah, sure, go for it.
You were drunk with power. That was it. and you give these edicts. But then, it was that, and then we started thinking about it. But to change software, like Ruben was saying, it is a monumental task, because we've got thousands of comments. They need to come over, and the software companies that are out there, there's no great way of importing. And the software that we were using, I am sure that they get hundreds of calls a day saying, can I import everything into an Excel spreadsheet? And the answer is always the same. No, you can't. So it's like, okay, we need to be able to do something, and that has to be importable.
Mhm.
So that's kind of January, February, sort of thinking about it. And then I think Tessa and Eric went to IEB, where I think were further exposed to Spectora. Saw a lot of the folks at IEB using it, and that coupled or tripled with COVID. Well, this is about as good as it's going to get, as far as an opportunity to migrate and to completely change the platform that we have. So I knew that I was going to be taking some time off. So I'm thinking, I think this is the time, this is the opportunity that's not going to come along, hopefully ever again.
Right.
Yeah, I know. To actually spend the time that we need to fully, to fully change the platform. There's no real sort of way to ease into new software. It's like, here's the old software, here's the new software. There you go, kids. Good luck. So once March hit, April, I think April and May, I spent I was still inspecting in April. It was really May, June was when we made the transition, which also gave us an opportunity to completely look at each comment that we have, make sure it's right, make sure it's good, make sure it's, I had Grammarly running in the background just to make sure that, that things were going to be worded well. So that, changing all the links, making sure, because we have hundreds of links in each one of our comments in the report. A lot of the comments have links directly to the blogs that Ruben has. So to go in and change every one of those and to test each one. And so a lot of work, but two things. One, when I imported all the information from our former software, I like how we're being very politically correct, saying our former software.
You guys can say whatever you want with it.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. Look, but I don't want to bash anyone because it's not bad. It's not bad. We just needed something. We just needed something else. Mm-hmm. So when we were able to import everything into Spectora, and it's like, well, that went a lot better than I thought it was going to. I'd been involved in a couple, sort of behind the scenes in some migration work with some other companies that I've worked with, and it's always a freaking nightmare. It is always, it's always like, okay, all hands on deck. We need, this information didn't, and then all of these bleary-eyed people are trying to get this last little chunk of information. It's like 90% of it worked really well, but it's this last 10%. And Spectora made it a lot easier for that to happen, to just bring everything over. It's not perfect. There's still a lot of work to do, but it's a great start. And like you guys were just saying, if you're being a perfectionist and you don't want to leave one platform because you don't think everything will be perfect in Spectora, it won't just like right away, but everything takes a little tweaking, and you have to proofread stuff. But I was very pleased with how well that went, that first pass. And then after that, it was just me editing and bringing in the pic. And we changed, and that was our decision. We changed a bunch of the graphics, but we kind of got this thing where we wanted it.
I'm going to put 3 links down in the description below. The first link is for you if you like Spectora, but maybe you just have a couple questions. You can schedule a 15-minute discovery call with someone from our client success team to make sure that Spectora is a great fit for you. It is, by the way. If you're ready to dive in and start using the app, the second link is for our free trial. With the average cost of a home inspection, that's a couple $1,000s that you'll pocket before you pay us a dime. And the third link is for our Spectora Jumpstart program. If you're a brand new home inspector, you probably need a website, or maybe you have a website that you just kind of threw up real quick and you're not super thrilled with it. In the Jumpstart program, we'll make you a great website based on feedback from you to make sure that it reflects your business, your market, and you. We'll optimize it for search engines, and we'll put an online scheduler on your website too, so you can spend less time on the phone and more time out in the field working. We'll also bundle it with a full year of the Spectora app, and we'll do it at a great price too. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you check out other videos on this channel, and take care.